but you like under 8.5 wins year one of this regime.
Well, there's just too many X factors here, right? You look at the Chicago Bears right now, Matt Eberflus era, the team started 4-2. Their only quality win in that stretch was the Rams, though. They then lost 10 games in a row. Everybody thought the Bears were back last year. It didn't happen. I think that could be the case once again. Now, the Chicago Bears have a very talented roster, but I think there's just too many unknowns across the team. I'm not off the Caleb Williams train just yet, but we really didn't see what he was capable of last year because he didn't have a ton of protection. Now he's going to have that protection. He has a top 10 offensive line. How's he going to handle it? We'll find out. Comes to the coaching with Ben Johnson. A lot of people think if you hire an offensive guru, your team issues are suddenly going to get fixed. And that could be the case long term, but we've seen it with a guy like Josh McDaniels. He can't be a head coach, but he's an unbelievable offensive coordinator. I'm not saying that's going to be the case for Johnson. We just don't know yet. And then defensively, the defense was better than they showed last year, but the offense didn't play a lot of complementary football with them. So there's X factors around the defense, but there's question marks too. So there's just too many unknowns for me to get in on this team right now. When it comes to the actual games, I have them splitting with Minnesota, Detroit, and Green Bay, and I'm being as generous as possible here. I think they win either the Cowboys or the Raiders game. They're going to beat New Orleans, New York, and Cleveland. That puts them at 7 wins for me. I can find an 8th win. I can't find a 9th win, so I have to go under 8.5.
No, you like the Niners over 10.5 wins?
Yeah, but I want to preface it by saying that I do think the championship window is over for the 49ers. When it comes to Super Bowl, I'm not saying they're in that boat right now, but I think they can win the 1 seed in the NFC. So if that sounds a little crazy, hear me out. The schedule is ridiculously easy on paper, and they have a lot of talent too. If Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, that's a guy they didn't have last year. He changes games. Brock Purdy, we know he can thrive within Kyle Shanahan's offense. He got paid too, so that's going to help. And then Brandon Ayuk, can't expect a lot from him when he comes back from the injury, but Ricky Pearsall's good. You still have George Kittle. Their play action game's deadly with McCaffrey in the lineup. So I think if they stay healthy, they're going to be good on offense. And then defensively, they have stars on that side of the ball. It's an average unit with some high upside there. And when it comes to the actual wins here, going over 10.5 just makes so much sense because they should beat the Saints, Jaguars, Falcons, Giants, Panthers, Browns, Titans, Colts, and Bears. That's a lot of easy wins right there. Now you split with the divisional opponents. That gets them just to 12 wins. And then there's games like Buccaneers and Texans, who I left off their wins list, but they're more than capable of winning those games. So it's not crazy to think that this team's a 14-win team. And if that's the case, they're probably the 1 seed in the NFC.
When we're looking at this Coach of the Year market, who is your favorite play right now on the board?
Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year for plus 750. And there's a lot of different ways you can go when it comes to betting on the Patriots. You can take Vrabel Coach of the Year. You can take them to make the playoffs. You can take them to go over 8.5 wins. A lot of different ways you can bet on the Patriots in the future market, which makes it exciting for a lot of people because there's different ways you can go. But there's a lot of unknowns on this team. I'm a firm believer in Mike Vrabel. I do think he's going to be a great head coach there. It might not come in year one, but it should come over time. However, when you take him to win Coach of the Year, it better come in year one. Drake May, this team's going to go as far as he takes them this season. Needs to do a much better job of protecting the football. Interceptions were an issue in 13 games last year. But now you have Josh McDaniels as your offensive coordinator, a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, and that's only going to help him elevate his game. You got Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson, guys that can run the football. You got a left tackle in Will Campbell that said he's going to die to protect Drake May. So I'm all in on this Patriots offense as long as Stephon Diggs isn't hanging out on any yachts this season. Defensively, the New England has a great defense. Milton Williams added to the mix up front. They got a really good secondary. Patriots are loaded with talent across the board, and I think Vrabel's going to harness that and make it a really good unit. When it comes to the wins here, now knowing that they probably have to go over their win total for Vrabel to win Coach of the Year, I like them to beat Las Vegas or Pittsburgh, Carolina, New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, and New York, and then split your division games. If you do that, you're in the playoffs, and the Patriots get in the playoffs, they can be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people looking ahead to what New England could be with Drake. Drake May proved it already, right? And now maybe there's a little PTSD up there in New England because at one point we thought Mac Jones had proved it. Okay. But I liked what I saw at Drake May. Mobile guy, gutsy, made a lot of really good plays, looked like he understood how to protect the football, but just an X factor at quarterback, which is what you're looking for from a rookie. So you think they make the playoffs at plus 160?
I think they make the playoffs. I think Vrabel could win Coach of the Year if they make the playoffs and make a run. So I think that's two really good ways of attacking New England. And also, if you like the win total, figure they got to go at least 9-8 to make the playoffs. Take them over the win. So you're either probably going to go 2 of 3 at least, or you're going to go 0 for 3. But I am high on the Patriots, so I will take all 3 of those bets.
And you like a player prop when it comes to Baker Mayfield this season?
I like Baker Mayfield over 3,825.5 passing yards. But I look at Baker Mayfield. How many quarterbacks could survive with his trajectory in the NFL? Very few. How many quarterbacks could survive with his trajectory in college? I mean, this guy has the walk-on mentality, and he just continues to bring it day after day. He got his final chance in Tampa Bay, and he's made the most of it. And I think he's made 2 previous offensive coordinators into head coaches. That's how good he has been. I don't think it matters who his offensive coordinator is. He's going to go out, throw for yards, and rack up stats. Threw for 4,500 yards last season. He didn't have Chris Godwin past week 7. He lost Mike Evans for 3 weeks. He just made the most of what he had. And the Buccaneers have invested in receivers. You got Emeka Ibuka this year coming to town. That's going to be huge for them. You have a guy like Cade Otton at tight end who really emerged without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin last year. And Buccaneers do have a top 10 offensive line as well. Tristan Wirfs is going to miss the first month of the season. That's something to note. But this is a really good offense. It's an offense that's going to throw the ball down the field. I know they have a new offensive coordinator, but he was there last season as a guy on the staff. So I think it'll be a seamless transition. And Baker, he just finds ways to win. He finds ways to rack up stats. So no doubt I'm taking the over of 3,800 yards.